It's the foreheads. It's the foreheads. We're in our rooms and we're talking about AI.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the greatest disaster on the internet. It's the Foreheads Podcast. I'm Goldenboy. You got Bren, you have Sideshow, and you have the turtleneck wearing app developing Reinforce here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It was a good weekend last week. Your neck is rather bare, Jonathan.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're like a giraffe in mating season.
I'm a dinosaur.
Is that how giraffes mate?
What, by stretching their necks out? How would that possibly happen?
I think. No, they bare their necks. Is that like a thing that they do? Because I imagine the longer your neck, the more likely you are to survive.
Why?
Imagine how hard it would be for a giraffe to eat ass.
I mean, I'm imagining, and I don't know why you put this image in my head, Jonathan.
How would we go? We need someone to create that, if at all
Is that
possible.
you wearing a
I know what you're going to say.
Punch Man t-shirt?
Yeah, I am. Hopai!
Yeah.
I love it. I'm a big One Punch Man fan.
Are you following the training regime of One Punch Man?
I'm trying to. I'm doing, hundreds of push-ups and sit-ups a day. It's not working though.
Oh.
I feel like, even then I'm still eating like the food is running away from me.
You do seem to be losing your hair though, so maybe the gains will follow.
Okay, this is a little gap right here. It's just the comb didn't really get it all that well.
Right.
All right. Jeez Louise. All right. You know what sucks is that my hair grows just a little bit, right? And because of my Puerto Ricanness, this little bit here curls up, right? It curls up and it looks like I'm losing my hair, but I'm actually not. It's just that my hair curls right here because of my brownness, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. And that's my fault. It's just my fault.
I'm growing out my hair.
It certainly looks like it. Either that or a beaver has landed on top of your fucking scalp.
Okay,
already.
why are we getting judged by our hair by fucking Josh? Can we just talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
I gotta get my jabs in where I can.
It looks like you when you were born, like they forgot to give you the other half.
Look at this. I have disguised my forehead perfectly.
That's not bad, actually. You look
like I have a forehead.
You look like Boris Johnson's child. It is the same kind of look. I mean,
it honestly you look just like him.
Yeah.
It is horrifying.
Well,
to be true.
that's terrible. Thanks for that.
It's a similar
Josh,
kind of
is your hairline
persona.
actually receding? Because it feels like your forehead is larger than it usually is.
I don't know. I think I've always had an enormous forehead, but these side pieces are going back a little further than they used to.
Yeah.
I think it all used to be in one straight line here, but I mean, look at the top of that. I mean, that was still a gargantuan forehead for a child. God should not have been so cruel to a small human.
Have you considered shaving it? Go like full Joe Rogan and start doing like karate and shit? Or are you actually like just going to keep it for brand recognition?
Whenever I make decisions about my hair, brand recognition does not come into it even slightly.
What?
But
that would totally be the reason. Because you're this hilarious, awesome personality with crazy hair and people love your hair.
Okay, right.
Of course, that's part of who you are.
All right. Well,
Your
no,
charm.
I have changed. I shaved it off before. I got out of a breakup and I was feeling really terrible, and so I just shaved all of my hair off. That was when I had long curly hair.
They say that when you cut your hair, it grows back thicker and more full than before. Clearly not the case for you.
No, that did not work even slightly. That was not the
That's
intention.
just not true though as well. A lot of people think that it's not true.
Really?
It's an urban legend. Whoa.
Yeah, because the reason you think it is because normally your hair follicles, they grow out like normally, but you're cutting them off at an angle, so they feel sharper and thicker when you're putting your hand against them.
Yeah, they got more surface
urban
area.
legends are interesting because last week I talked about the fact that you can get a cold by going outside in the cold.
Are you going to bring this up again?
Sick. I'm going to bring it up again because in our YouTube channel, Okay, because I am a man of the community. In case you guys are not aware.
Yeah, you're like a slightly older ZP. The amount of you stare at your phone at the events.
Yes, sure. That hurts. So looking at the,
Wait, no,
the com-
ZP's older than you, isn't he?
it's hard to tell with him.
It's impossible. Who knows?
It's impossible to tell. But I was looking at the comments, and one of our comments was very interesting. It actually said, freaking YouTube just changed the way that they do their damn comments. It's the most annoying thing. It said that that the thing is, this is kind of like, here it is. It's from Nike Danae. She says, as a Hispanic, I completely agree with Goldenboy, even though she spelled Goldenboy wrong, but that's okay. She says, I think it's a cultural thing because Latinos and Hispanics tend to believe that being in cold as fuck temperatures causes us to get sick. You normally hear your grandma or your mom say to cover your head and your chest or you'll get sick, in Spanish, of course. And that is legitimately true. That is something that my grandmother and my mom, my mom to this day still says that. It's like pretty common. And you know what? Science be damned. I'm going to say that to my kid too. I don't give a crap.
Why? Why are you going to say it to your child when you know
Because
that
you
it
know
doesn't
what?
really have a factual basis?
Cover your damn neck. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Dude, I look like Josh now.
For any audio viewers, what Bren has so wittily done is put his fringe behind his head to expose his forehead. Yes, thus executing the
Johnny
perfect
Kendrick.
Sideshow cosplay.
So, we're just going to end it there with that.
But if you can get a cold from cold, can you get the coronavirus from corona?
No, I think almost certainly not.
Corona stocks plummeting.
I wonder, though, if it did affect Corona.
Wait.
People are genuinely
I
dumb.
need to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no way corona is on the stock market. Wait.
Corona stocks.
Corona, stop. We're looking this up right now.
Corona Corporation. That can't be it. This is Australia.
Oh, this is Japan.
Yeah, it's not on the New York Stock Exchange.
Huh. Well, never
I'm
mind.
just saying. Well, isn't Corona owned by like Anheuser-Busch or isn't like there's like 3 beer
Oh, I
companies
have
in the
no idea.
world and they all own basically everything. It's like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's kind of worrying with the coronavirus,
Mm.
Yeah.
It is.
just
It is.
because of how many countries it's spread to now, and the ramifications on just the global economy already. People thought it was just going to blow over, but the stocks are just now starting to fucking free fall.
Oh, dude. Stocks
Yeah.
are down like 8% in 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Bad time to be a guy who plays the stock market.
Okay,
AKA me.
I'm reading an article right now by someone I've never heard of on Medium, so take this with enormous grain of salt. But they're writing an opinion piece about how the coronavirus could destroy Corona beer sales, because all of the like memes and racist shit that was originally coming out about the coronavirus. That I don't know whether you guys had caught any of it that was going
No, I
around.
didn't.
So it was basically like the rumors about how it began started a wave of like memes that were basically just almost directly just being racist against Chinese people, just like perpetuating myths that they're just like dirtier than other people, like the actual people themselves, not the environment that they live in or certain areas or anything, just like the actual people by virtue of being Chinese were more.
So shitty people
yeah.
continuing to say shitty things.
Definitely,
about
but the fact
people.
that the coronavirus was a thing gave them like an opportunity to do so.
Okay.
And so it's saying that on the back of that, more rumors are starting to and confusion starting to appear because the coronavirus shares a name with Corona as well. So this is his opinion piece, and he's saying that apparently Anheuser-Busch had a stock market drop fairly massively at the end of last year in like November 2019, which I have no idea what it was about, but the stocks do seem to be down massively, but I don't know why. And the Corona beer virus has a massive surge on Google Trends.
No
And
way.
so does-
Corona beer virus.
Yeah, and so does beer virus and beer coronavirus.
Wow. Dude,
Which
oh my god.
is presumably people just not understanding and just the only thing that they're aware of that, like they don't understand the Latin root of the name for Corona and coronavirus. Because it's named
Oh my god!
It's named that because they both look like or not both look like a crown, but it's like crown. It's like something that people name shit after, right? It's like pick a Latin name, pick something to do with royalty. Boom,
Oh, yeah,
there's
because
your
the cells look like a
yeah,
crown or
yeah, I
something
think
like
so.
that?
I think the cells in the coronavirus looks
Yeah,
fairly crown shaped.
I found the stocks.
You found the stocks.
It's
are the
Grupo
stocks?
Modelo.
It's gone down.
Wait,
Has gone
which stock do you look at? Because it's made by Modelo.
Constellation Brands is the company that owns it.
Interesting.
And
Wow.
I'll put it
I,
in the
you know,
doc.
I just think this leads to just people, you know, just people.
Yeah.
People
I
are
tell you though,
interesting.
I mean, the online searching for the phrase "be a coronavirus" surged 3,200%.
Why? Oh,
Yeah, people are just kind of dumb. I think. I think my family doesn't even know that the coronavirus exists.
Really?
There's not a single case in Sweden either.
No, they definitely do. Actually, they were really worried about me when I was in South Korea, but I could definitely just see my family just like booking a holiday to the north of Italy, like right now, which is
my
one
mom
of the places
messaged
where
me.
it's popping off.
And she said, "I know that you work a lot with a lot of, Asian players and stuff like that." She's like, "Bundle up."
Bundle up. She said, "Bundle up."
She said, "Make sure you bundle up.
I mean,
and you protect your throat."
Wear a scarf over your mouth. I mean, maybe that'll stop the aerosols
Listen,
getting in.
My mom is a good person. Okay, she means well. She's just a concerned Hispanic mother.
Did you say there's no cases in Sweden?
Yeah, I don't think there is. No.
I think there is. It says on this. It says on the CDC.gov website that there is a case in Sweden.
Well,
Seems like Norway has managed to avoid it, but not Sweden.
it seems, like people just get smitten every day. So I'm not.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just crazy across the board. If you're out there, be safe. If you're in areas that are troubled by it, be safe.
I've already bought face masks and gloves. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean,
What is it?
what does be safe even mean when it comes to something like this as well?
I think, just be cautious.
cautious.
Just play more games.
Play more games,
Play more
stay
video
inside.
games, bro.
Yeah.
Interestingly, because of the coronavirus, it's affected a lot of companies, right? And a lot of businesses are losing just countless and countless amounts of money. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's on the fucking rise. Stonks going up. League of Legends microtransactions in China. Because all people can do is stay inside and play the
games.
game.
Yo, can you imagine all these app sales are doing right now?
Oh, they're probably raking it in.
Yeah.
Raking it in.
There's nothing else to do but just stay inside, play video games. Hey, so long as you got a good internet connection and food and water, game it out, dude.
Game it up. Game it up. Well, I've always wondered though, what do these people do if they? I mean, they have to stay quarantined in their homes. If you're like in Wuhan, how do you get food and water?
So apparently, that's another part of the story, is that food delivery, or like not food, but grocery delivery companies in China just like skyrocketed because people couldn't go out. So they had people wearing like plastic or not plastic. Oh my God.
The full hazmat suit?
Yeah. Shit like that, just delivering groceries. And wait, I'm going to see if I can find
they're not
grocery,
renters.
China, stock, surge. Because people just couldn't go out to buy groceries, and so groceries delivered, and they got paid mad money.
I mean, that's clever.
There's
It really is.
There's a BBC article actually that says almost word for word, Wuhan lockdown, how people are still getting food. And so it's
there you go.
It's a popular question, right? And it's saying that, I mean, as far as I'm aware, I mean, I don't actually know how big Wuhan is, but it's probably an enormous place, right? I think the city itself is really quite large. Isn't it like a small region? I don't know. If someone else wants to
11.08 million people as of 2018
In Wuhan?
in Wuhan alone.
Oh, God
yeah, I mean,
almighty.
It is
enormous.
the capital
kind
of the Hubei province, and is the largest city in Hubei and the most populous city in central China. So it ain't no small place.
And obviously, not everybody there is infected. I mean, that would just be ridiculous, right? So you can still go about your day-to-day life in some kind of sense. So people still are going grocery shopping a little bit, but also getting food delivered is the primary thing. And so apparently they've adapted their food delivery processes so that they kind of drop food off instead of having to meet face to face with anybody at all.
Yeah, I actually put a video in, pretty interesting, in the Discord. It's actually the drone footage of Wuhan right now.
Oh, have you
and-
seen those? Sorry, I just interrupted you because.
No, you're good, but it's basically like a ghost town. Go ahead, John.
So I didn't hear the past minute because I was so distracted. But have you seen those mad videos of just scientists going and like disinfecting shit in like classrooms and like there's people in suits with like a cleaning backpack, like fucking Ghostbusters, just going and spraying disinfectant,
the disinfectant.
like
yeah,
in
yeah.
random office rooms, and just like, here comes the government disinfecting shit, and
Joe
just out of
Rogan was
nowhere,
talking
it's
about it.
wild.
You got to get out of the way, otherwise you're just going to breathe it in and all these chemicals. I've just
wow.
searched for a 10-pack of masks, like surgical masks that are actually like rated to stop disease. What is it? N95?
I don't know.
Mm.
It's like the filtration, otherwise it doesn't do anything. And there's only one available from one seller. It's $121.
No.
Amazon.
There, there has to be something else. There was actually a story that came out today. Oh, her name is Cecilia. She retweeted it. That Amazon is trying to prevent third-party sellers from raising the price of face masks to exorbitant levels. It's a story on Wired. I'm gonna link it in the document right now.
Interesting.
I mean, I believe it, dude. Like the opportunity, right? Market
They're
calls.
trying, but
Capitalism at its finest.
yeah.
I've already bought 100 masks because I know that my friends are gonna need some.
What
If
you
shit-
have personally?
Yeah, I have 100 masks. So if you guys need masks,
Why do
I
you have
got it.
100 masks? You're part of the problem. You are the problem, Jonathan.
Wait, what do you mean?
Why are you stockpiling 100 masks as one
Well,
human
he's
being?
not stockpiling to sell. He's going to give it to his friends, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing it for. Okay, so I live in downtown Los Angeles. Okay,
Okay.
and like, okay, I'm not scared. Like, I don't really give a shit. Like, if there's like 1,000 people that get infected with coronavirus in LA, like, I wouldn't really give a shit. I put on a mask, go to work, act like nothing, like everything's normal, right?
Okay, all right.
But if shit really hit the fan, I'm gonna spend whatever, like $50 I spent now, just for precautionary measures. And you know, if coronavirus is just a fad and it doesn't really do anything in LA, then whatever. I spent $50 for personal safety of an epidemic or whatever. Who cares? So I don't.
But I mean, like, why did you buy 100 rather than like 10?
Because they came in pack of 50s. So I
Oh,
bought two.
really? Oh, I see. Okay, all right.
I
That's-
can't find any. Like to find, you need the. It's called N95, and I'm looking on Amazon, and yeah, the people selling them for ridiculous amounts.
I mean, dude, it's just crazy. But my point still stands. Be safe, people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but it's best to just you know, like if you're hearing stuff and like I don't know. For me, it's challenging because, like, for example, I'm at these events, right, and you know, I'm walking around the crowd and you know, I'm saying hi to everyone and stuff, and it always is like, you know, that's like the easiest way to get sick. So, I'm going to say this for any of our listeners that are Overwatch fans that are going to be attending these homestands coming up. Just, you know, bring hand sanitizer, right? If you got a cough, just, you know, be mindful of those around you. Things of that nature. It just goes a long way, honestly, because, you know, it's very easy. Like PAX is this weekend, right? And you always hear about like the PAX flus and whatnot.
Yeah.
You just, you know, we joke about it, but that stuff can like be really, really bad. So you just need to be careful. Drink lots of vitamin C. And I don't mean like, I mean, eat oranges. I mean, that's probably like the best source of it. But, you know, if you take vitamin C pills or emergency.
Bell peppers have more vitamin C than an orange. Just eat a
Really?
bell pepper. Yep.
Oh, well, don't tell that to Zoe. She can't have that.
Yeah, so he's deathly allergic.
Yeah, is she sick right now too, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she
Yeah.
tried to get vitamin C and someone gave her a bell pepper.
Well, I think she'd know better than to eat a bell pepper. But
funny thing, actually, a funny Zoe story.
you?
When we remember we all got together and we went to that Thai place,
Uh-huh.
and then in my neighborhood, and the menu had all this food laid out, and it gave you every ingredient, but the only ingredient it failed to mention was bell peppers.
Bell peppers.
And then Zoe gets a dish, and she looks and she's like, "Is that a fucking bell pepper?" I'm like, yeah, I think it is. She's like, "It wasn't on the menu." So when I go to the lady, and then I'm like, "Hey, are there bell peppers in here?" She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Oh, my friend's allergic to bell peppers. She can't have." She's like, "Okay." I was like, "I think it'd be great if you list it in the menu, right?" And she kind of like brushed it off or whatever. I went back. We go back there often. Now there's like a little piece of tape that just says bell pepper.
That's great.
So mission accomplished.
Nice.
Anyway,
Well
what were you
done,
gonna say, Bren? Sorry.
I was gonna say, have you ever had interactions at events where fans get offended that you don't want to shake their hand and you want to fist bump them?
No, everyone's always been very, very
I feel like the
understanding.
fist bump has become more common for me, at least.
I've had some odd interactions with people where they go, "Oh, Brett, hi," and then they put out their hand, and then I'm like, "What's up?" And I just hold it here, and it's like we're at an impasse. And they just
Both
they're
frozen
like,
with no idea what to do.
yeah, they're like, "Well, shake my hand," and I'm like, I'm not opening my hand. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And
How
there's
do you
always a
solve
weird,
this
there's a
horrific
weird
problem?
5-second moment of where they're just like, and then they submit. But like, I don't think people realize that they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? Does he think I'm like sick or like what? He doesn't want to shake my hand." I've had that a couple of times, but it's like, no, actually, I'm fucking shaking. Like, if I was to shake everyone's hands that went up to me in an event, I would have shaken 100 hands, and then I would have got 100 other people sick. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I actually, speaking of the thing, New York Times, what you just said, New York Times actually just put out a tweet saying the CDC warned Americans to begin preparing for the possibility
Yeah,
of
I
a
just
coronavirus
saw that.
outbreak, saying, quote unquote, "This might be bad." That is some great scientific verbiage there. Public health officials don't know if the coronavirus spread in the U.S. will be mild or severe, but Americans should be ready for a significant disruption to daily life, the director of the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases said. Meanwhile, budgets were cut by the CDC for the CDC by like at least like 20%. So, hey, good times, people.
All
But,
fun. All
yeah.
fun.
Here's an interesting thread before we leave this topic. Oh, that link did not look well in the document. Apparently, okay, Josh can read it out because my brain hurts.
All right, let's have a look at what Jonathan's found.
Dear
In the
God.
flu pandemic of 1918 to 1919, case fatality rates were lowest in San Antonio, Texas, which had the highest UVB radiation of any city. The fatality rates were highest in New London, which had the lowest UVB radiation. So this is a study on whether ultraviolet B radiation can affect the case fatality rates of flu. But the flu virus is very different, or at least is different. I actually don't know whether it's very different to the coronavirus. So I don't know
They
whether...
don't know. They
don't
don't
know
know right now if a change in sunshine causes the coronavirus to survive less outside compared to like a colder, darker climate.
That's actually super interesting, considering how bad like the air quality is in China.
Okay.
And
That
like
doesn't mean it's
actually
dark
like
all the time.
Johnny thinks China's in a state of perpetual darkness.
That's honestly,
Well-
that's more like Sweden.
No, but I'm not talking. Well, I mean, we were hitting two different points here. I just think that, like, once you get to like a quote unquote cleaner climate, like if that affects the spread. I mean, I'm such a pagan when it comes to shit like this. I'm just speculating, and right now, Sideshow's undermining my attempt to crash the stock market. So it's not
Well,
going great.
The CDC page has estimates of case fatality rate, which is, that's if you get it, how likely or how many people that get it end up dying from it. And that I mean, it's obviously going to differ based on how old you are and what your immune status is like, this kind of stuff. But it just provides a bit of a benchmark to be able to compare that to other diseases that have happened. But it's really, really difficult to estimate case fatality rates when the virus is ongoing, because there are people currently with the virus, lots and lots of people, who may end up dying, and they aren't going to be currently taken into account. There's also going to be a lot of people who have the disease and don't know that they have the disease yet. So the figures are going to be all over the place, and so it's difficult to be able to estimate. But they have a whole page where they go through various different ways. Let me see if I can find it of measuring it. And I think there was the figures outside of China are actually higher, the case fatality rates at the moment, than the figures inside China. But probably because it's more obvious when someone has it in China, because they're so hyper on it, right? Like if you sniffle and cough, they're going to test you for it. And so the amount of people that have and are confirmed to have it is really high. So even if the death rate is high, it ends up evening out a little bit.
Would you say, Josh, it's worth, if you're young and healthy, traveling to China to intentionally get the coronavirus?
Sorry, Bren. Gonna have to explain the logic behind that one. What? Sorry, before I give some, rash.
You work it out of your system.
What?
You're immune to it. You don't need to live in fear.
Like kids with chickenpox parties where their parents take them so that they catch chickenpox at a young age, so it's not bad. I would say.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah, chickenpox parties are definitely a thing.
You don't think so?
I definitely wouldn't recommend it.
What if I went to China and got
first of all,
caught the
probably
virus?
Don't. But
Got the virus.
Yo, I'm just saying, your stream would pop off, dude.
Live streaming in China,
and then go to Puerto Rico,
okay,
where it's sunny, and just chill by the beach.
And
would it go away?
What you would like to do? Correct me if I'm wrong here, Golden Boy. What you would
about the
like
sun,
to do?
right?
What you would like to do is go to China, become a living vector for this incredibly infectious disease, and take it back to your home country.
See? I see nothing wrong.
There actually, I think there was, or rather,
but just for science, though. But you put me in like a bubble. I'll be like that dude in the movie, right, where he was in a bubble the whole time. But I'll just be in there with the virus, and then I'll go to Puerto Rico, and then I'll just sit by the beach by myself, and then take some like Dayquil, and then just see what the fuck happens.
I might have already had it. I'm being real with you guys.
In South Korea,
you did not have it, Bren.
So do you want to go party so I can get it?
I mean, I'm over it now.
Yeah, but you probably still have it. Like deep within. In your skin, in your DNA, there is corona.
I mean, I don't think so. Johnny's like, let's go out in K-Town, and I get licked up, and Johnny just starts trying to drink my blood or something.
I'll do a Tyson Fury.
Dude,
I don't want that.
Did you see, though, talking about like deliberately spreading it back to Puerto Rico, did you see that people have been apparently deliberately spreading it in South Korea? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why the cases just exploded.
Yeah. So this is an article.
Yeah,
on
and they call them
BBC.
cultists.
Yeah, it's the Sinchonji Church of Jesus in Daegu is being blamed for a major outbreak of coronavirus.
Yeah,
It sounds like a bad World of Warcraft expansion.
I know.
Okay, that joke fell flat. I'm so sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
I know a little bit about it, but it's essentially like the cult, right? They think that at the second coming of Christ. Is that correct?
I honestly
But
not totally true. Not
the woman
totally sure.
contracted it, spread it to her followers, and then the followers went to multiple different parts of South Korea.
Yes, the founder
trying
claims to be the
preach
second coming of Jesus, apparently.
That's it, yeah. So she or someone had it in the cult. They spread it to about 200 of their followers, and then the 200 followers then went around to different churches and public areas in the country, like just spread across like a little bio bomb, just boo, sent them out. And now I'm trying to find a live number for South Korea.
Bro,
833, I believe, and 42 of those cases, according to this article, which was posted on Thursday, have been directly or indirectly connected to this church. Yeah, honestly, insane.
Bro, that's nuts.
South Korea's
You know-
CDC described the outbreak there as a super spreading event. Like, way more
It's
than you would
it's at
normally expect.
800 right now.
Yeah, 833, I think. That's what this
3
article said.
days ago, it was 433.
Dude, that's crazy. You know, and I think that people, I saw someone on Twitter be all like, yeah, but was it like 10,000? What's the number right now? I don't know what's the number.
What, globally?
The global number.
I don't know.
It's
Let's
like-
have a look. Coronavirus global
Might be
number.
like 15,000 now.
These are all 80,000.
Dear God. Okay. So
The
anyway,
death toll is 2,700.
Yeah,
This is according to
so-
CNN today.
So when the toll, or when the number was around like 15 or 20,000 or something like that, I remember seeing someone like quote tweet. I don't know who it was, but even if I did, probably wouldn't call them out. But they were like, people are making such a big deal about this. This is just the thing to be outraged about in 2020. Watch it fade away, and no one will talk about it like Zika or
Yeah.
whatever. But you know, and they were citing that like the number just isn't, you know, it's not, there millions and billions of people, right? Like, you know, the number's not whatever. And I'm like, but you know what, man? Like, disease ain't nothing to play around with.
No.
Like, that's not a thing that you're just like, only 80,000 people are infected with this virus. 80,000 people's a lot of human beings, a lot of lives that are being impacted by this thing. And that number evidently is not seen to be going down at all. So clearly, like, this is a big deal. So if you think this isn't an issue, again, and I'm just going to go back to the beginning topic, bundle up, okay? Put a scarf on. All right, wear a jacket, put a hat on,
I don't think
and
that will
then
help.
and then steal one of Johnny's masks.
Yeah, you need a mask. You need to wash your hands. You need to stay away from public places.
And
Hand
when in doubt-
sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer.
Sanitize.
Always
Sanitize.
sanitize. And when in doubt, play video games. And that is going to transition us to our next topic, which is a video game.
Mm.
Because apparently we're 4 people that work in video games. So we should probably talk about video games rather than us
Occasionally.
give our scientific takes on the fucking virus.
I actually think people are really interested. I think people are interested in an epidemic that potentially could kill off humanity.
I mean, it won't
think
kill off
Kill off
humanity.
humanity!
I was being
You were being
hyperbolic.
hyperbole? Were you being
Hyperbolic.
hyperbole?
I was being hyperbolic.
Oh Lord. Okay, the game and subject today that we're going to talk about is actually one by made by, I would say, a friend of ours. I know I've known him for a little
I
while.
had to blow my nose.
And he, okay, never mind. It's actually Johnny's friend. But Two Goods made a video game called Diabotical.
Mm.
And it goes into closed beta. This will be happening in February 28th. People will be streaming it. I'm sure people are going to stream it because at the end of the trailer, it says beta starts 28th of February. Can we stream it? Sure, why not? So
I'll play the
this
trailer
is-
on stream now.
yeah, this is an old, like I would probably say old school, but definitely has like a good look and feel to it. You know, and again, just to reiterate, Diabotical is an Arena FPS game made by the GD Studio or the Good Studio, GD Studio. I've never
The good studio.
the Good Studio, and
Yes,
Too
Good
Good,
Studio.
who used to be an analyst for Dota until a very famous interaction with Gaben ruined that. But this actually looks pretty solid. If you love games like Unreal Tournament, Championship, Quake, was it Serious Sam, you know, games like that, this game is right up your alley. Funny design, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's like kitty-like almost.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that
Which is
they've
smart.
approached it. It's the opposite of most arena shooters. Like, I feel like most of them have a very serious, like almost grungy thing, very heavily inspired by Doom and Quake and those kind of games.
Yeah.
And this one is,
I wonder why he went with that. Well, actually, I think I know why he went for it, but because there's always this as you said, right? Like there's just a gritty, grungy style that goes to a lot of these arena FPS games. Because when you hear arena FPS, you're immediately thinking about, you know, double kill, triple kill,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
thinking about the dark
Yeah.
and
You're
atmosphere
thinking about
of
the
Quake.
little giblets of human flying, exploding.
Exactly. You're always
Blood.
thinking about that.
Death.
But
Yeah.
if Fortnite has shown us anything, it's that a complex game, despite what any esports consultant on Twitter might say, a complex game like Fortnite that evidently appears to appeal to children can have some great mass appeal. On top of which, games like Rocket League have the easiest time getting sponsorships because of the way that the game looks and just the kid-friendly nature of the game. So
Yeah,
I think that
it's a
this
good
is
idea.
very smart. It's very smart of them to go about it in this route.
I do think though that I saw Slash's tweet where he said something like all the esports scene needs now is one big arena FPS. That's what you call these games, right? Arena FPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they and he said that it's prime for it to come back. Yada yada yada. I think that that's quite an old way of thinking about esports. I think that's just nostalgia glasses. Until a game can draw in a huge casual audience, I don't think it can be a successful esport because you just will never get the numbers in to be able to justify putting a bunch of money into the game.
I mean, Slasher still has a Quake,
Yeah.
like emblem for his Twitter
Sure.
profile that he'll never change. So he's also coming at it from a unique position of bias that I
Yes.
can
But-
appreciate.
But I think that is the goal. And, full transparency, James got me into esports and I lived in his house for like 3-4 years. I can't even remember, it was so long. But I think that's the underlying goal of this game is to build a very tight and sort of new community because you have the map editor. I can't talk about it, but there are numerous changes coming to the game modes as well to make it a lot more fun and try to like revitalize and redesign the game modes and the arena FPS scene as a whole to make it a bit more esports friendly and to make it more exciting. And so I think that this is a man who's obviously, along with a lot of other esport personalities, been involved and been part of arena FPS games for so long that they've had the opportunity to identify the faults of ID software with, Quake Champions and whatever that was, and then try to make it a bit more beginner friendly with the art style. So there are a lot of great community features in this game combined with the customization of the heroes, or not the heroes, the robot rather, that I think is going to make it real easy for Discord communities and teams to form, etc., which can hopefully help this old genre gain new life. So I think that's the advantage of having been an esport for so long, Arena FPS, that people sort of know what it's about and how to make it better and what it's lacking.
I mean, how do you draw in really casual players though? Because for me, the draw of an arena FPS, the reason why I like playing them, and for most people, I think, is that you're constantly challenged to get better and better and better. There's like, the game is about improving yourself to some degree, right? It's like you're constantly battling against yourself to improve at the game and be better than your opponent. It's not like, I feel like it doesn't have the same level of casual appeal as something like Fortnite or Overwatch or these kind of games that like a lore to get into and characters to grab onto, or a team environment to meet people and be incredibly social, or just to kind of mess about and be bad at the game at a low level. I don't see how. I don't feel like my little brother would enjoy arena FPS games.
Do you think your little brother would be excited about the trailer and the way it looks and the style?
Maybe.
If he just like stumble upon this video on Twitter.
Maybe.
Because I can't refute what you're saying, because that is what arena FPS have been for so long. I can only tell you, knowing James, that he's really trying to combat that sort of narrative and to bring new people in. And I think just the fact that the closed beta is going to be on the Epic Game Store might be an opportunity for accessibility.
Oh, is it?
And that actually is the big thing that I want to point out, because at the end of the trailer, you can actually see it. It will be coming on the Epic Game Store, and that's huge. And that is really big. Reason I say it's really big is because one thing that got really popular with Fortnite players was playing Kovacs and aim training shooters, and those are basically they come from the world of Arena FPS, right? Like precise aim, timing, those kinds of things. Because in Fortnite, that is something that is heavily prioritized. It always cracks me up whenever I see people give Fortnite a lot of crap, because it's like, dude, I guarantee you, like, you take a Fortnite player and you put him in to like different gaming experiences. Like if you saw like Myth playing Call of Duty, he was really good, or Aiden playing Call of Duty, which he did before, but again, he was really good. And the reason why was because in Fortnite, you have to have like some ridiculous aim. It is essential because of the way that the game is designed. Players can drop in at any point in time. You have to be able to react quickly. That stuff is like super important. Now, with all those players, like I think the other day, Vinny from TSM just announced that he's like done playing Fortnite. And he's a great player, right? But he's done playing Fortnite because he's just tired of the game. He felt like the game just isn't. He feels like the updates are dumb, and players have their issues with Fortnite, right? But then if a game like this pops up in the Epic Game Store, which those players are going to boot up, and if Epic Games gives it an iota of promotion, which I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, considering who I know works at the Epic Game Store, which are a lot of folks that come from that competitive FPS background. I could realistically see this game kind of sort of just not blowing up, but I could see it getting some kind of widespread audience or widespread consumer appreciation, simply because of the style of the game, the way it looks. Like, I mean, look at Dauntless. It was another game that was on the Epic Game Store, and it's literally Monster Hunter, but because of its style and the way it appeals to the Fortnite quote unquote generation, that game actually is doing exceptionally well on the Epic Game Store. So there's a case to be made that Diabotical could actually do really well, because it's not going to be buried in Steam. And
I think this is going to be a fantastic candidate to revitalize the Arena FPS scene. If that is possible, this is going to be the game, because there is so much that goes into it.
If this game doesn't do it, then the genre is dead. In my opinion.
But I have a lot of belief. I'll say that.
I think for a game to pop off it needs to be playable on a lot of systems, like you were saying, GB. Like Fortnite got big because it's on console and mobile. It's pretty hard to do that with an Arena.
That is true. I mean, Drake was playing on console, right, when he started playing with Ninja. So
you need that kind of reach to even get there in the first place. The second thing, I think, this is something I was talking to Kurt, who lives in our house, about it, and he was like, we're all pretty like looking forward to the game, but the one thing I think you need is like a movement system, or at least the game needs to feel, and it needs to be easy to get into and play. It can't be like Quake, where you jump into like a quick play lobby and you're fucking instantly up against vets who are just bunny hopping around, one shotting you with a railgun from across the map. It needs to be accessible, where you go into it and everyone starts at the same level, but then you start to discover little quirks and complexity to the game, which is what happened with Fortnite, right? Everyone played Fortnite, everyone was at the same level roughly. Like, no one was building. Like, advanced building in Fortnite at the beginning was like a ramp and 2 walls. Like, that was it, you know? And then they would take shots against each other. And then the building mechanics really started to go fucking crazy. And then people started editing crazy shit. And then the game sense, like, as a whole, just kind of developed. But like, learning these unique mechanics and having the ability to master it, I think, is super important. But it needs to be accessible in the first place, which might be pretty hard to do.
I can't really say too much, but I can say that you guys are going to be. It's fun,
but
it's accessible.
Here's the thing, though,
it's good.
And I'm gonna say this bluntly, as a console guy, all right? Because I will be. I'm gonna be real.
The
when
voice
I
of the
saw it on
people.
Twitter, when I saw it on Twitter, when they announced the Xbox Series X specs, and then I saw like Scoots and Slasher and a few people like making fun of it. I'm like, I I grew up poor and I couldn't afford a high-end PC. Also, in my neighborhood, being educated on how to build a PC or what's in a PC or how PCs work was like not a thing, right? So I didn't get that same kind of background and education on the subject to understand that, oh yeah, PC or a console's basically a PC, but yada yada yada, right? But what we were able to comprehend was that if I saved up enough money from my summer job, I was able to take $250 or $300 and buy a refurbished Xbox, and that was going to be the way that I played video games. So, and I get mad whenever I see people like, crapping on console players because of that. It's like, dude, not all of us can afford these crazy ass PCs.
Yeah.
It's just facts, right? So having Diabotical, which looks like a game that I think could easily run on a console. It doesn't look that heavy. Like the graphics is great,
on a console,
but it doesn't look heavy at all. It doesn't look like it's going to take up a lot. Having a game like that run on like a Switch, having it run on PS4 or PS5 and on Xbox Series X, like that stuff's important, and that means having good controller support. And I know that everyone's gonna be like, GB, Arena FPS, you gotta play keyboard and mouse. But look, guys, like I still play controller on Apex and COD to this day, even though I have a dope ass PC with great peripherals. I still play with a controller because that's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to allow players to be able to play with that. And I'm that is what concerns me about games like Diabotical and just Arena FPS as a whole. It just forgets that there is this massive community of individuals that also want a game like this, but they just do not design it with those players in mind. And then they just end up getting forgotten, and then that's it. It's gone. It's done, and there's just nothing. Unreal Tournament came out, or Unreal Championship. Well, Unreal Championship was actually made for controllers, but Unreal Tournament or Quake or whatever, those games come out, and the controller like hookup is just terrible. It's genuinely awful. Overwatch on console, it's not good. They said that they worked with Treyarch on it. I'm like, I don't know where the hell that was, because it's just not very good. As a guy who plays Call of Duty a lot and Halo a lot, it is not good. So that's kind of just where I'm at with it personally. It's just, and I understand that people are going to, question it, but you can't forget about that audience. That audience is too big to forget about.
Yeah, they're huge.
And that goes into the accessibility of it all. I don't know. Johnny, what do you think about letting us controller players play with you? How do you feel about that?
Look, I think. Look, I really appreciate console players. I saw that the new Xbox hardware systems had 120 FPS or some shit, right? Yeah, that's a great change. So no more 60 FPS locked. I think that an underrated problem with esports is how much money it costs to buy a system and actually participate in esports compared to buying a football and playing football or soccer, as you boomers, Americans say. So if like I like console players. I don't blame you for playing console as long as you have fun with video games. I don't even know why you asked me this question. I feel like I'm being attacked, and now I'm on the defensive. And this is pretty awkward. I don't know what's happening.
You represent the elites here, Reinforce. The elite
you're a
PC
former pro
gamers.
player.
Oh yeah.
And you wear turtlenecks. And that's
Didn't you used to be a pro too?
I was a semi-pro trash can.
You were the equivalent of Sideshow on console.
Yeah, it's me. Semi-pro
I was
trash
the guy.
can.
I was the guy that was the responsible one that got everyone on for practice on time.
Oh hell yeah!
And I was good at calling out.
Nice.
Those are my cause of fame. Those are my claims of fame. So what do we think? All right. Do we feel like Diabotical, which we'll be able to play, and by next week we can actually talk about it in more detail? Do we feel like this game has a chance?
I think it has a chance as like a bit of a cult classic, that kind of thing, right? Like it gets its small audience that really enjoy it. maybe a little comparable to Dauntless, right? Because I have seen streamers playing Dauntless, and I was like, oh, what the hell is that? It looks like Monster Hunter. Then we looked it up, and we were like, oh yeah, it's like Monster Hunter, but on the Epic Games Store. I feel like it could be something like that. I don't really see how it could contest for like a large esports spot, because I just don't see. I think that the days of small independent games being good enough to compete with the top AAA publisher esports is pretty much gone. I don't really think that those days exist anymore.
Sideshow's about the corporate overlords.
I mean, I'm not about them. Fucking eat them. But
oh, did you guys see Eat the Rich was trending?
Oh yeah.
Apparently,
Really?
apparently someone was doing like graffiti on like a Bloomberg office or something that said "Eat the Rich," and it just got viral.
It was a political hashtag before it was a meme in my stream.
So you're just tapped into like angry political.
Oh, yeah.
Viewers,
If you ever looked previously at the hashtag Eat the Rich, there was like a couple of people tweeting at me, and then 100 different tweets of very, very angry left-wing people being mad about the oligarchy.
People still angry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's trending at the moment, so yeah, of course it is.
Bren, what do you think? You think Diabotical's good? You think?
Yeah, man.
Do you think it could have a?
I'm
chance?
like, I think I don't know. We'll see. I haven't seen enough. Johnny's like teasing us, saying like they're putting some stuff in to make it accessible. So
I just want you to be open to a new experience, because it's not your traditional Arena FPS. I know what comes with an Arena FPS, but it's
I played Quake Champions. I really liked it. A lot of the old guard hated Quake Champions because the things that I hated about Quake Champions was the engine was clunky as fuck, but it was very fun to just hop around the map and shoot people. And they tried to make it accessible by making the movement a little bit easier, by making the timings of the armor and the overheal the same, which is just the dumbest fucking shit ever when you think about it, because it removes like a lot of the depth to the game, as far as I'm aware. You want that like difference of a couple of seconds, right? So you can actually rotate around and fight over
every
them.
character is the same in Diabotical, right? Every bot, they're all the same. Is that?
I don't know.
It looks like it, at least. It doesn't
looks
look like
like
any
it.
of them have abilities.
But I mean, anything can pop off. It just needs the right environment, a bit of luck. A couple of streamers start playing it. Suddenly, you got a game in your hands,
Yeah, I think that also is going to be a big thing. Is this game going to be enough to rip people away from like Tarkov and Apex right now? Which
I'd say right now people want probably like a new shooter to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are feeling a new shooter. That's why so many people are playing Tarkov. Like Tarkov has been out for a while. I've never played it, but I've wanted to. But it's like that game seems quite difficult to get into.
Yeah, dude, that game I tried multiple times. It's just not happening.
Yeah, but it's all about a couple of streamers play it and they like it, and then suddenly I think an underrated aspect of a lot of these games as to why they pop off is like the team aspect. Solo games are kind of dying off. The RTS genre, the arena shooter genre in that regard, like they're kind of just dying off. People don't like to be the blame of their mistakes. They like to blame their team. You know what I mean? Like people love to blame their team, and then they'll keep playing it because, like, I'm not the reason we lost that game. That was my fucking Moira. But it wasn't the Moira at all. It was you, because you're too bad to notice what you're doing wrong.
Dude,
but
true.
But team games like are on the up and up because you play with your friends. You get the boys. You get a little 4-stack going. Fortnite, the exact same reason. All the kids are at school. They're saying, "All right, where are we dropping tonight?"
Where are we dropping?
Exactly.
You ain't looking in the mirror and asking where you're dropping. You're asking your boys.
I think Bren goes to the bathroom and he's like, "All right, man, we're gonna play some Fortnite.
Where you dropping?
Where you dropping?
Where am I dropping?
Where you dropping?
Gonna go lazy? I don't know. Agency maybe? Let's do it.
Gassing myself up before I drop.
Oh,
Yeah.
We teased something previous episode, Bren, about your gassing yourself up and going on an adventure.
Listen, the people have been waiting. We gave them a little cliffhanger, right? A little cliffhanger of my little trip in Japan. When I was there in a bar, let me remind everybody if you can't remember. Went to a bar, was chatting with the locals, started becoming a local myself. I was going there so much, started learning the language.
Really?
Sumimasen. Highball kudasai.
What do these things mean?
It means, excuse me, can I get a highball, please?
Right.
So started learning the language. Yeah, I speak Japanese. What about it? Anyway, we were chilling in this bar, and the first night we went there, I noticed this dude sat down with these people. By the way, I've only just realized, like I said previously, but they go to this bar almost every single night. Like everyone that's in there. But we were in there, we were chilling. And I noticed that there's some dude hanging with two girls. He's a young-looking guy, very fashionable. He's half Japanese, half black. And I'm looking at him like he seems like he's you know those people, they have this air of just coolness around them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just radiate that kind of feeling. He was that guy. He was dressed up. He was looking nice. He was chill. He was enjoying some drinks. He was hanging out with two women. You know, he was just chilling, bro. He was just chilling. And the first night we're fucking around, we're enjoying ourselves. The second night was the night that we went there, and I got offered cocaine from the guy who I'm pretty sure had Yakuza connections.
Okay.
Later in the night, we're all getting friendly with them. Shots are going around. We're doing shots with the staff. We're doing shots with everybody. I hadn't really spoke to him that much. I hadn't spoke to him at all, this guy. But suddenly, I start handing recommendations to the DJ, and I start handing him recommendations. I show him my phone, Run the Jewels, play a little bit of that, bit of Kendrick.
What was the music that was playing before you started offering recommendations?
He plays a lot. I waited until rap music or hip hop was starting to be played.
Okay.
Then I started recommending it. I didn't just shift because you don't want to fuck with his gears, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to fuck with his gears. So I only offered it when he was playing that kind of genre because
Makes sense.
listen, I'm not socially oblivious to recognize that when he's playing Initial D running in the 90s, I'm like, okay, now play this and just like show him some soul music, right? But I start putting some recommendations down and start vibing, and I'm getting drunk, like getting so lit. Like it was like do you remember at the Atlanta homestand when the dance floor was empty and I was alone throwing
You're the only
shapes?
person on the Atlanta homestand dance floor.
Yeah, I remember that
Atlanta
actually.
Yep.
I don't remember the Atlanta homestand.
Maybe you were really drunk.
That was when the after party was actually open up to ticket holders as well. I didn't realize at the time.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, I didn't realize, but it didn't stop me from just making an absolute tit of myself. But anyway, I start getting into the same sort of state of mind. I'm like listening back to the music I'm recommending, hearing the way he's mixing this. I'm like, ooh, god damn, this guy's a good DJ. And I'm starting to feel myself a little bit. And I'm starting dancing in this tiny little bar. There's hardly any space. I'm throwing some shapes out. And suddenly, the guy who's just been radiating confidence and coolness the entire time, he gets up, stands up, and just starts fucking throwing down against me, bro. This dude starts throwing the fuck down, and we just start taking turns just dancing off against each other, bro. And I kid you not, he fucking slayed me, bro. He slayed me. I was copying Fortnite dances. And he was just like, he was out here just fucking slanging, bro. Slanging. But
Slanging.
It was incredible because what we were doing, we were taking turns. He would put on some Japanese hip hop, the DJ.
Right.
And the guy would just start rapping the entire thing. He was rapping the entire thing.
That's pretty impressive.
One of my songs would come on. I start rapping the entire thing.
Okay.
And then we just take turns like this. And then we would dance and throwing shapes, taking turns. And at the end, I was chatting to him and I was like, yeah, you're a very good dancer, very good dancer. Thank you. And we were just hitting it off at the end as well. But this guy was just, he destroyed me in this 1v1, bro. He just absolutely destroyed me. Like, I couldn't believe it. He was very impressed when I was doing the Millie Rock, though.
Okay, right. What's the atmosphere in the rest of the bar while you are just having a crazy dance-off with potentially
Is it still the small bar?
Yeah,
It's the
tiny bar, dude. Tiny. Everyone's watching, bro. People are recording. Everyone's watching. Everyone's having a good time. Shots are flowing. Like these people, they go here for a good time.
I've actually. Are you done with your story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so socially inept. I couldn't tell. I don't know, maybe went for ice cream or some shit. I don't know.
Dude, imagine he's like, and then after that, bro, we just got pancakes.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, we went to Denny's. Let's go.
Yeah, I went to
told him,
Japanese
bro. But,
Denny's,
dude,
fam.
I just want to add real quick though, like black Japanese people, the most attractive people on this planet.
Yeah,
Like
Okay.
the mix of those features, god damn, like he was just the most handsome motherfucker I've ever seen. But he was like he
were
looks
you dancing
young,
against him or were you dancing with him? Is this the start
Kind
of
of-
an incredible
kind of-
Bren
romance?
wanted to dance
kind
with
of
him.
both, bro.
Yeah.
Kind of both. You know,
Do
it was
you?
a little bit of both, bro. Because we were just throwing down slanging and we just enjoying each other's company, you know. And we fucked.
That we- Hey, man.
Nothing wrong with
Respect.
that.
Respect
nothing wrong with
the
that.
looks. No, so it's
See, I knew the story was going somewhere else.
it's one thing you get slayed on the dance floor, you know, man. It's another thing you get slayed on a dance floor by some, you know, guapo looking motherfucker. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like you getting,
What is guapo?
you know, muy guapo. You know, like
Is that very attractive?
Sir?
I don't know. I've never heard that before.
yeah. You know, context clues, man. Come on, dog. You know, it's an important part of this whole process called a
Okay.
podcast.
All right, sorry.
It's great. All right, Johnny, what were you gonna say, real fast? What was?
I've actually just like thought about really learning how to dance because of those dance circles at so many parties.
Okay.
Because there have been so many parties the past year, after parties, after events, whatever, weddings, and people are like, "Oh shit, it's time to throw it down on the dance floor. We're drunk. It's like 11 p.m. Shit's about to get lit. We're gonna have the greatest of times." And then people make circles and it's hype, and then no one goes into the circle.
Okay.
And it's like
So
one
you
person
wanna-
that goes
you
into
wanna
the
be
circle.
You want to be the center of the circle.
Johnny wants
No,
to
well,
promote
okay.
the
So I want to believe that I'm doing a favor, okay? Because that moment when you make a circle and no one goes in it, and people are just like standing around, just
Yeah,
like
but
waiting,
someone's gonna,
and then some fucking moron comes in out of nowhere, had one too many beers, and is like starting to do Fortnite dances. Like, look at me, I'm doing the Fortnite dance in the circle.
You've just
Yes!
described Brennan.
No.
yeah. but that's good though, you know. At least somebody's taking the initiative.
Yeah, at least someone. But I want to be the savior who actually like saves everyone else from that horrifying moment. I don't want to do it because I want to be the center of attention, only a little bit. But that
At least you
moment
admit
is so awful that it motivates me alone to just learn how to dance,
It's
so
interesting that
everyone
you
else can
think
avoid it.
It's interesting you think it's awful because I just think it's like people just having fun.
No.
Who
There's a
cares if
difference
you're
in
bad at
dancing together and having fun, and people standing in a circle waiting for someone to go into the circle.
I have
And
not
I've seen it so many
noticed this
times.
interaction since like I don't know since like
Well, when we were at
primary
Matt's
school
wedding, this
dances.
happened. Well, no, when we were at Matt's wedding, this happened.
Really?
Did it?
And
happens
yes,
everywhere.
This happened. It was a circle formed, and then people were like pulling me or pulling something. And then Bren
Well,
was,
that's
like, in
because the
there.
music blew, right?
True.
Like they weren't playing my kind of vibes, but when they're playing my kind of
Right,
vibes,
I
I jump in the
see.
circle. Happened at the after party at the remember the grand finals?
Yeah, grand finals. That was really good though.
Yeah, people were
That was
jumping in.
good.
Last time at the second, I can only remember 2 times where it happened, and it was a Twitch comp and it was like D1 and his boys, and I was just fucking like compared to them, like they can dance. When I
Yeah.
jumped
Oh,
in,
bro.
I look like I forgotten how to.
I was at a
walk.
Twitch party with D1, TK Breezy, like a few of those guys. I mean, they were just throwing it down on
They
the dance
can
floor, bro.
dance, man.
Old school
Oh my
hip hop starts
God.
coming up, bro. TK Breezy throwing shapes. You're just like, fam, can't compete.
You can't compete. You actually
It's
can't.
a rap.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, I also find it interesting because I heard this quote when I was listening to a podcast flying home from Sweden. And it's a pretty good quote for life, okay?
All right.
So the idea is if you tell someone 2 interests of yours or like 2 skills of yours, they aren't you're supposed to make it so they can't guess the third, if that makes sense.
Wait. What?
So let's say someone's into yoga and weightlifting. They're pretty similar, and so someone can be like, "Oh, you're into like nutrition as well," because it's like in that sort of category. It's like someone are like, oh, I'm into.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. You should have interests that are so spread out that even when somebody knows two of the things, they can't just stereotype you. You break out the stereotype because you like a range of different things.
Yeah. So the perfect example, I was actually having this conversation with Matt Mercell, who's our stats guy, and it was so funny because he was the perfect example. And so he's one of our stats guys alongside Captain Planet. He's like, loves video games, loves stats, is a yoga instructor. It's like,
oh really?
What? Yeah, it's like,
okay, didn't know that.
Mind blown. You know, I didn't see that a mile away. Sorry, Bren.
He was a personal trainer way back.
Yeah, I had no idea, but that is the beauty of it. That's what's so awesome. So, like, imagine me. This is where I go in the story. Imagine me, okay, former professional gamer, just tall Swedish, lanky man, whatever, knows how to like properly dance. Like, it's the perfect deviation from what people judge me for.
I see. That does actually make a lot of sense. Yeah, but what style of dance? Do you mean like?
No, like freestyle or some shit where I'm flying across the room.
Hip-hop stuff. You want to do some hip-hop?
Yeah, like some.
You want to be a b-boy.
Because it would be hilarious if you knew how to like do the tango and the waltz and you bust that out at parties. That would be amazing.
No, but that's not the parties that you don't form a circle around someone doing the tango or
but
the waltz.
But you could. I mean, imagine the stereotype breaking that would be. You're just in the middle of a wedding and you'd bust out the tango.
The tango would be
to a rap song. It doesn't even fit.
It's still tempo, right? It's still tempo. You just gotta hit it at the right.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the point being, I think that'd be lit, and people would be like, "What is this tall Swedish guy doing? Whoa!" Be like throwing shapes and like rolling on the floor and spitting and
what?
Break a leg.
Spitting.
I'm just saying, it'd be lit.
Do it up.
Yeah,
man. Well, what's stopping you from doing it, Johnny?
Effort.
Yeah, I mean, it is effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, everything in this world. See, here's the thing about effort. Effort is just an action. It costs you nothing.
No, effort is time expenditure that could be used on other things.
Not fam.
Here, I'm gonna link a video.
To learn how to dance.
Here we go.
Then just do it, bro. There's a reason why Nike made millions off of that catchphrase, because sometimes you just got to do it, bro.
Yeah.
If you know, when I said I wanted to make a podcast, as a plug for that Esports podcast. When I wanted to make a podcast, I just said, you know what, screw it. I don't care if 10 people, 0 people listen. I'm just gonna do it. Because at the end of the day, time is leaving us no matter what. So if you want to take that time to do something that you want to do or something that you want to learn, then just do it. Because the time is going to leave you anyway. Yeah. You could spend so much time deliberating, and that is worse than just doing it.
I think that's a really admirable way of looking at things, and I'm sure your 9 viewers really appreciate the fact that the Esports podcast had no aspirations to begin with.
Yeah. Dude, I live my life with no aspirations.
How do you think that's a good way of thinking about it, though, GB.
I think it is.
My life is consumed by laundry.
Consumed by laundry.
Wow.
How many clothes do you have?
It feels like my life is consumed by laundry. I feel like I'm about to go to an event. I gotta do laundry. I take that clothes with me. I come back. I gotta do laundry. I gotta put the laundry bag in my fucking thing. I got more laundry behind me that I need to wash. I got fucking laundry for days. It never ends. My life is consumed by laundry.
You know that you can just put laundry in and then just get it out an hour later, and you can do anything else with that time.
Why don't you just set up a delivery service just to do it?
What?
There are services that will just pick up your laundry, do it free, and bring it back, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Why would I do that?
Because apparently it's dominating your life.
Yeah, because it dominates your. No, it's not super bougie, dog. And me and Cynthia do that all the time. I walk my laundry over to the laundromat. I leave it there. They do it. It costs me like $10 or $20 extra, and then I just bring it back in.
But
you know, I got. Oh well,
you don't have in-unit laundry.
No, I don't have that.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Most people, but we have that. Yeah.
Most people in New York.
I live in a New
that.
York apartment.
Yeah.
I live in.
Yeah.
This is LA.
Well, I've got it, so it seems silly to do that, right?
Yes, it absolutely would be, especially when it takes 10 minutes to do. It takes
It's
10 minutes to do
more
laundry
than
because... No, it's not. It's 10 minutes because you just leave it going when it's going.
I've got to when this podcast finishes, I've got to put it in the dryer.
Oh no, what a
Dry the
terrible life.
I think you're overreacting. I don't want to
But-
be cruel, but
I feel like laundry is just one of those things that I would like. If I could just replace that with something else, I'd have so much more time to do shit. Because I feel like I struggle to fit shit in a day. Like I want to go to the gym. I also have to eat 3 meals. Like eating's just a pain, isn't it?
Eating is a pain.
no. He's actually right. He's actually correct. I found this to be a struggle as well.
Oh
Eating's
my
just
God.
so annoying.
What
Like
are you
yeah,
my
talking
body needs
about?
this much, really? Like fuck, dude. Can't I just eat 1 meal?
And especially if you're trying to gain muscle,
Yeah,
you have to eat so many carbs that you're tired for like 30 minutes afterwards.
I know.
And so you spend like an hour and a half in your day just being tired from eating carbs and sugars.
My God, you guys have a rough life.
Yeah.
No, but it is difficult though because
What a
I'm like,
shame.
I gotta wake up early so I can eat early so that I can digest it and then go to the gym with enough energy to actually go to the gym. Then I come back and I shower. Now I've got to do these podcasts while at the same time I'm juggling laundry. I gotta cook after this one as well.
I'm sorry that our podcast is such
I
a
gotta,
disruption to your life.
I gotta cook. I gotta meal prep after this as well. I'm gonna be making that bomb ass chili once more. You know?
You sound like you're just struggling with being an adult.
Yeah, I fucking
This is my day off, and I feel like I want to go drinking later to remedy it.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm struggling to be an adult. Let me just go on to the days where I can just fucking mull out, you know? Just fucking. You know what I mean?
I was struggling to keep up, but yeah, now
You know
I
what's
get it.
crazy? It's because I've been doing this for such a long time now that this is like all pretty fucking normal to me.
Yeah.
So I'm everything that you're complaining about. I'm like, yeah, but bro, that's like living, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Nah,
of
bro.
course.
Oh.
you got to section your time off appropriately. Time
But
management's
and
an
where do I get the
important
time to
thing.
stream?
I don't know,
Then-
Bren. When do
Then you know
get
what,
your time
Bren?
to
Look
stream?
for the inefficiencies and all of that, and then try and change it around. If that means
You're
canceling
telling me to-
foreheads, then you know you anger all
No,
the people.
you're telling
That's
me-
all right, though.
But
You telling me to
it's-
start a Google Calendar? Because fuck you.
Yeah,
So-
I have Google Calendar. I have a list of things that I need to do in the day. I go through the list.
Here's the problem, okay? Most people
tell me what the
don't.
problem is, John.
Most
How old are you
people.
again?
I'm 24.
Okay, go on.
Most
please.
people don't realize the freedom of not having to do those stuff, but because both me and Bren were sort of freed, quote unquote, from that, we realize how restricting it can be to be bound by eating and cooking meals. So, for example, I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat breakfast, right?
Right.
Do you realize how much time in your day you have when you don't have to make breakfast and eat breakfast? It's like you gain like 30, 45 minutes from not eating. And so when you compound all of the things you don't do, you gain so much time.
All
So
right,
when I lived in Glendale, calm down. When I lived in Glendale, okay? When I lived in Glendale, very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate me. I was in a position where it was more sound for me to go 1 block down and pick up food from halal guys than actually ordering groceries, cooking myself, doing the dishes, because it was so more time efficient that I could like make that money up from just streaming instead. And so scheduling my time, I'd rather just go and buy that burrito from Chipotle or buying a meal from halal guys.
Yeah.
And so now when I want to be a bit more of an adult, so I've moved to downtown Los Angeles. I cook my own meals because I have access to groceries now in a faster sense. And I've realized just how much time that it's taking up. And it's only because I've had access to that freedom in the past. It's the same like when you get out of school and you don't have the summer break anymore and you're like, oh my God, I realize how much time I'm just working because I don't have access to that summer break anymore. It's the same for people who freelance or make their own companies and they're not working 9 to 5 because their schedule is not bound by 8 hours working per day. And it's allows for you to realize the factors that limit your life.
Okay. I think I start to
mean,
understand the
My head is
concept. The
expanded.
concept makes sense. The specifics of it, laundry dominates my life. That's what doesn't make sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
But
But
I
I can
see what
see
you
where
mean.
he's coming from, where he's spending so much time that
Okay.
he feels like he's losing out
My
on
God.
stuff he could do.
Okay. Well,
You know,
what a
it's
tangent for the
admirable.
end.
Yeah, it's admirable, honestly. And I
Yeah,
hope you
I mean,
guys could figure it out.
I just wish I had more hours, dude.
It's true.
Yeah.
What time you wake up in the morning?
Today I woke up at 8:30.
That's pretty
That's
good.
good.
I woke
That's
up at
good.
7.
That's pretty
That's
good.
Get
great.
fucked. I don't know why I'm bragging about that. That's
No,
dumb.
that's good. 7, 8, like that's a good range. I woke up at 7:30. I was like 7, 8 o'clock today.
I feel like the older you get, the less sleep you need as well, GB. So you must be like,
That, let me tell you right now, as a person who wakes up in pain every morning, that's not true.
why'd you
Okay.
wake up then?
Why do you wake up, what, like at all?
Yeah.
Because you know what, Bren? Life is worth living.
That's
why.
That's a great
By the
to
way,
end it.
I'm sorry of going on a tangent, but I lack a medium to discuss philosophy in my life, and so I retort to this fucking dumb podcast
That
with
makes
idiots.
sense. That makes a lot
And
of
then
sense.
I just get refuted and looked down upon. But I needed
No,
the
Johnny,
room
we're
for
not
my
looking down
concepts.
upon.
We're
I'm
never
not
looking down upon you.
Shut up, console pleb.
We can't look down upon. I can't look down upon you because you're so goddamn tall. It'll never be able to happen.
Hey, I love you, buddy. Hey.
I think that's a good. I mean that's a good place to end it because I got to go watch Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, really? That's what you're doing with the rest of your day? Why would you subject yourself to watching Sonic? the
I'd
Hedgehog?
rather do laundry.
1, I'm a Sonic fan. 2, Jim Carrey.
Oh, actually,
Need I
Jim
say more?
Carrey. Yeah, very fair, actually.
Need I say more? Dog and Ben Schwartz. So yeah, I'm a fan. Okay. But yeah, we didn't get to read any reviews today. So leave us some reviews and we'll read a bunch of them for next week. How about that, people?
Yeah.
We have some good ones on here. Kaijid, who left one on December 19th, A Story of Relief. Don't worry, I haven't read it yet, but I got you covered. So we'll do that next week. Leave us some reviews on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, and wherever you choose to listen to podcasts, because this podcast is distributed on Anchor, so it pretty much goes anywhere.
Goes anywhere, everywhere, baby.
And if you're on YouTube and you want to comment on some things, by all means, go on ahead. We'll all be at the comment section. We should all be in the comment section periodically. Check and see what people are saying. Because we've had some good comments in the YouTube comment section. So, for example, when Koenig said, remember that Josh has gone to actual medical school? He should know more about contagions more than the average person. When, and I actually don't agree with that, because bundle up, it's cold outside. All right. So there you have it.
So we done. I got laundry to do.
Yeah, we're done. Thank you so much for listening and watching its podcast. Hopefully you had a good time. We'll catch you next week. Take care of each other and, wear a mask. Steal one of Johnny's. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.